Welcome to the Explainer. If you've ever felt that growing a business is just this constant uphill battle of selling and chasing leads, you are definitely going to want to see this. We got our hands on an internal strategy document that completely flips that model on its head. The whole idea here is that community isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It's the single greatest asset a business can have. So we're going to break down how it works from three key angles: from the business owner's perspective, from the current members, and then from the new clients they attract, almost like magic.
Okay, so let's get right to the core of the problem, right? What is this all trying to solve? It's this simple fact. Running a business, for all the talk about teams and networks, can be an incredibly lonely journey. I mean, the person at the top, the founder, the CEO, they often feel totally isolated. All the toughest decisions, the biggest doubts, it all lands right on their shoulders. This entire strategy is built to solve that exact feeling.
So let's start with the first perspective, the business owner, or what they call the facilitator. This is the big question, right? How does a concept that feels kind of soft, like community, translate directly into cold, hard profit? Let's dig in.
What I love about this document is how refreshingly direct it is. We're not talking about vague, feel-good benefits here. The core promise is simple. The community itself, that group of people, is the main gear in the machine. And when that gear turns, it drives two very clear outputs: more profit and smarter ideas. A strong community isn't just a feature, it's the actual engine of the business.
And this is how that engine works. They call it the community flywheel. And it's really the heart of the whole strategy. Just look at how it feeds itself. It all starts with step one. You build a genuine community. Because people feel like they actually belong, they stay longer. That's your retention right there. And what do happy long-term members do? They naturally start referring their peers. And that leads to the ultimate payoff. The community's value starts to sell itself. You spend way less time selling and a lot more time leading. It's a beautiful thing.
This slide just nails that shift in energy. I mean, look at the left column. That's the old way, right? It's a constant, exhausting grind of pushing and convincing. But on the right, when you're fueled by community, your whole role changes. You're not pushing a boulder uphill anymore. You're just opening the door and inviting people into a space where the value is so obvious it speaks for itself.
All right, let's pivot to our second perspective. How does this whole thing build? What's in it for the members themselves? Why do they stick around? What are they really looking for that goes way beyond just a simple product or service?
There's this one line from the document that really gets to the heart of it. It says, "Together, we are stronger, wiser, and more precise." Think about that. A community isn't just a place to hang out. It's a shield. It's a source of collective intelligence. It literally makes every single person in that group better at what they do.
So what is it that people are actually searching for? Well, the document breaks it down into these 5 core needs. You've got the obvious business stuff, learning practical tools, getting inspired, and enriching your mind. But just as important, maybe even more so, are the human needs. Having a safe space where you can be heard without judgment, and that powerful, simple feeling of belonging to something bigger than yourself.
And here's the crucial insight. You can't just focus on one of these. The real value proposition is holistic. It's the whole package. As you can see here, each of those 5 needs is treated as equally important. That is the secret sauce to creating deep, unshakable loyalty. It's not a service, it's total support.
Okay, time for our third and final perspective. The view from the outside looking in. If you've got this amazing, thriving community happening on the inside, how does it actually translate into attracting new people? I mean, how do you grow?
The strategy is so simple, it's brilliant. Pull, don't push. When the value inside the community is real, when members are genuinely getting results and feeling supported, that energy creates its own gravity. It becomes a magnet. You literally stop chasing leads because the right kind of people just start coming to you.
So how do you actually create that magnetic pull? Well, the document lays out 3 really powerful, low-pressure ways. First, you create taster events so people can come and experience the value for themselves. No strings attached. Second, you share the success stories of your current members. Let them do the talking. And third, you make the process of joining as simple and inviting as possible. It's all about invitation, not persuasion. This quote right here, this is the core thesis of the entire strategy. Just let that sink in for a second. We're not selling a product, we're inviting people into something they want to be part of. That is such a profound shift in mindset. It changes you from being a vendor who's pushing a product to a host who's inviting people into a community. And believe me, that changes absolutely everything about how you do sales and marketing.
So we've looked at this from 3 different angles: the business, the member, and the prospect. But what's the one thing that holds it all together? What really makes it work? The document has a specific name for it: the caliber advantage. This right here is the secret sauce. Caliber, it literally means the quality of someone's character or their level of ability. And this approach applies that exact idea to everything: the quality of the members you bring in, the depth of the discussions, the relevance of the content. It's a non-negotiable commitment to excellence that makes sure the group is a curated gathering of true peers, not just another random networking event.
And this leads us to the final, and maybe the most powerful idea in the whole thing. A lot of companies try to bolt a community onto their business as some kind of marketing tactic. This strategy says that's completely backwards. When you truly get it, when you internalize that the community is the business, everything else, retention, referrals, revenue, all of it just becomes a natural result of a healthy, high-caliber group.
So we'll leave you with the question on the screen to chew on. Is your business built on just creating one-off transactions, or are you building a true community? Because as this strategy makes crystal clear, the answer to that question could be your single greatest competitive advantage.